one of them kept draining a lot more quickly over the past 10 days, like week and a half or a weekish, and today it's lasting as long as it normally would. I thought one of the batteries, which I use more often, I have a tendency to use one battery just to keep track of how long, but it's back to normal today, and I'm pretty certain I'm using the battery that I always use. I brought a second battery just because I decided to take a long walk today, but it's lasting exactly as long as it has in the past, basically from my apartment all the way down to the river. And in the past, I would reach the seagulls at Penn's Landing. This is approximately the same walk, slightly different, and I have plenty of battery left to maybe get to the end of the, Ray Street Pier. And, whenever this runs out, I'll switch to the other battery. But I'm pretty excited because I started worrying like, oh God, am I going to have to put out money for another battery? I don't feel like it, you know what I mean? So by now it would have been on the red, and it's still on yellow. Like it hits yellow, and then all of a sudden it'll turn to red when there's like 9% left or whatever. From another video, after a heavy rain, there was a huge puddle down here in front of like Pier, whatever, Cherry Street Pier, and a little bit like really south of Cherry Street Pier. And there was a car all stuck in there. But operations, so that all of a sudden they're on the move. I don't know if they're gonna close down the pier or if they look like they're gonna close down the pier. But there are people on the pier. I can see someone reading a book on a bench. So maybe they're putting up new fencing, like they have to fix the fence. Are we gonna do the pier? It smells like the beach or fish down here. So I guess doing a special, usually after dusk, sunset or whatever, they close these fences, if you will. Take the low road and then the high road. But anyway, this is, I used to do yoga out here every weekend back in the day when Malik Wilson used to teach. He doesn't live here any longer, I don't think, but huge yoga movement back then. A really beautiful practice was going on back then. I don't know what happened, but everything shifted and changed, and you won't find the same vinyasa flow. You can do Ashtanga, and that's the only consistent yoga that's left in Philadelphia for whatever reason. But all of this would be filled up with yoga mats and people. It was a beautiful sight to see. Amazing. And to be able to do donation-based yoga out here was, a gift. In a way, yoga is an expensive practice. These days, it's way more expensive than it should be, considering how much less yoga you get these days. Back in the day, it was slightly affordable. Like, you could manage it. Even if only like once or twice a week, but with a donation-based, you could come out. They had like 5 days a week they had donation-based yoga, but a lot of people came out here for Saturday and Sunday, and it was awesome way to keep your yoga practice going without paying too much, of course. And it was seasonal, so it would be like as soon as it started to get warm in spring all the way through like October, and then they would have to wrap it up. That pier wasn't open at all back then. That's Cherry Street Pier. Back then it was just an empty warehouse pier. Like there was nothing there, but it was closed. You couldn't really see into it. And after the yoga movement, then it became Cherry Street Pier. They opened it up after. So I guess they shifted piers on the show, if you will, if someone were to look at the world that way. Ben Franklin Bridge. So, nice stadium, like steps, if you will. You can sit here. Of course, they have regular stairs and steps over here. drops under the bridge over here. It almost seems like it's raining, or if there's water dripping from the bridge. I don't feel any rain out here, and I don't see anything on the deck here, so there are clouds out there, but apparently there's just a lot of drippings. Maybe they did a wash of the Ben Franklin Bridge, and it's dripping. You can kind of see. I don't know if you can see it in the water. It's not raining on the deck, but it's raining over the water. It must be like the cloud is precisely over. I don't feel a thing. How about that? Isn't that amazing? Hopefully there's no like acid or soda in the but anyway, there's not a drip at all or drop that I felt, so I have to figure that one out later. The clouds must be just over the bridge. I love Ray Street Pier. It's quite a distance from where I live, so getting down here, you know, it's a bit of a hike, and walking is my primary mode of transportation. So even if I had a car, I don't have a car, but even if I did,